Okay, so we've seen how these picture graphs work, but how do you make one? Where do you get the data from? How do you put it all together? And what does it look like when you're finished? Let's make one. Let's try it out and see what we can do. Rightio, here we go. We have a problem that we need to solve. We need to find out who eats what fruit. And we want to collect data to see who eats what in our class. For example, we have people who might eat apples, oranges, watermelon and strawberry. So how are we going to go about this? What are we going to do? We have to collect data from different sources, and those sources are the children in Year 2. Now, how are we going to do this? What are we going to do? We need to go around and we need to ask each person what's their favourite fruit. Okay, so we have a choice of 4, as we said. We've got apple, orange, watermelon and strawberries. Okay, that's what we're going to use for this example. You can use more fruit. You can go around and ask and people will tell you different things. They might say pineapple, they might want to eat grapes, they might want to eat some passion fruit. So you'll need to collect other pictures that go with it so as to arrive at a picture graph that you can use. But for this example we're just going to use 4 fruits. So here we go. This is what we're going to do. So we go around and we'll ask, and we'll use tally marks to help us. So we might go around and we might find out that there are 5 people who like to eat apples, that there are 3 people who like to eat oranges, and that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people who like to eat watermelons, and that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 people who like to eat strawberries. So, well, whoops-a-daisy. Oh my goodness, how are we going to rub that bit out? Silly Mr. Quinn. Anyway, so we'll put the data over here. So here's the strawberries. Here's our watermelon over here with these people. Our apples go with this person, this group of numbers, and or those tally marks, sorry. And here's our oranges. Okay, so there we go. We've collected some data and we've got it from different sources, the children in our room. Now the next question is, we need to put this into a graph that we can use. Now, how are we going to do this? Alright, well that's the next thing we have to look at. Okay, so we've drawn our graph. You can see it there, the lines that we have. There's one line that you need to put here, right? And there's another one that you need to put along this way. Now, I'll show you what happens and why we do that in a minute. Okay, up here we've got our pictures that we're going to use, and now we have our data. Remember, we have 5 apples, 6 watermelons, 3 oranges and 11 strawberries. Now that will all become very apparent in a minute as to what happens. Okay, so there we go. That is done and dusted there, so we'll just get rid of that. Now, so what we have to do is we have to put our apples in the right place. Now, I've only got 1 of these, so I need to make more of them. So that's what I'll do. I'll put out 5 of them. Okay, so now we have our 5 apples and we need to put them in the right order so that they can be read. Whoops. So we'll put them like this. And there's our 5 apples in a row there. That helps us. That's the first part of it. Now we need to get out our watermelon, so we'll do that. Just hang on a second. So now we have our watermelons and we bring those over and we'll set those out like this. So we have our 6 watermelons. There we go. There we are, 6 watermelons. That's it, looking good so far. We'll just put the graph in the right place there. Now we need to do our 3 oranges, so we'll get that. Okay, here we go with our 3 oranges. So we'll set those out. We'll put them here like this. And our graph is looking really good so far. It's a bit... Okay. Set those out. Now, as you can see, we've got our 11 strawberries, so we need to set those out. So we'll set those out like this. Here we go. We'll try and space them. Oh, come on. There we go. And we have our 11 strawberries. So there's our pictograph. It's made. It's done. And you can look at it and quickly tell who likes what. You can see there from that graph that even though the strawberries are longer, and you can see that they sort of they come out more than the strawberries, that there are in fact more strawberries than there are watermelons. So don't be led astray by looking at it and going, oh, there's more strawberries, or there's more watermelons than strawberries. Well, there aren't. Right, so we'll get rid of that. So now, what do we do with this? How do we use it? How does it help us solve our problem? Well, in our class, we need to ask some questions. So the questions would be like, what's the most favourite fruit? What's the least most favourite fruit? Other questions would be, how many more people like strawberries than like watermelon? Or perhaps we could ask the question, how many more people like apples than oranges? And the other question that we can ask is, how many more people would have to like oranges to be the same amount as the people who like strawberries? So there's a whole lot of questions that we can ask just using a simple pictograph like this. We can solve our problems. We can explain how we were able to use the data. We can use the data to tell us the total amount of children who actually eat fruit in the school or in grade 2. We can use it to tell us how many people in grade 2 like apples. So if you were running a shop, you would know whether you were going to buy more apples, more watermelon, more oranges, or more strawberries, or maybe less oranges because not many people like them. So there's a whole range of data that we can get out of that. Now, the challenge is, do we always have to use a pictograph? No is the answer. We can use a bar graph. Well, everybody's gone, whoa, what's a bar graph? Okay, here's your challenge. You've answered all the questions that go with the pictograph, and you've done it you'll do it in your maths scrapbook. What you have to do now is, can you develop a bar graph to show the same information? Okay, there's some things you're going to need to do. You're going to need to have a look online to find out what a bar graph is, how to set one out, what these two axes here, that's what they're called, okay, so they're axes. There's this one here and this one here. They need to show information. So you're going to need to look and investigate to find out about these things. So your challenge is to create a bar graph using the information that you have before you, right, and show it in your maths scrapbook. So you've done a pictograph. Now you have to go and do a bar graph if you can. Try it out, see how you go. Ask some of your friends perhaps, or ask Miss Solomon, ask Miss Burr, or ask Mr. Graham or myself, Mr. Quinn. We will be able to help you as well. And then you can use the same data that has been collected here. It's all here in front of you. And then you can make a bar graph. Find out how to make a bar graph. It'd be interesting. Alright, hope you enjoy the lessons. I'll be talking to you soon, I know. Bye for now.